What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/ChoosingBeggars. This story is called How I Lost a Friend of 5 Years in 5 Minutes by Being Lost and in a Hurry. Sorry so long. I met my friend Betty in the psych ward. Looking back, I suppose that was foreshadowing. I was there visiting someone else and we three hit it off right away. Smart, funny, and kind. She is a disabled mother of 3 boys, as am I. We share a lot of interests, though we never were able to spend a lot of time together. Both being busy mothers, what time we did spend together was really good, and we came to rely on one another for help. The car won't start and the kids need a ride to school? Call Betty. It's 3 days before payday and don't have enough to pay for this medicine? Call Betty. I found a dead body? Call 911, then call Betty. Twice. Not kidding. Now, Betty has problems. Betty had an absolute crap home life growing up, and it explains a lot, but I do believe you are still responsible for your choices and behavior. Over the last 6 months, Betty's life has been spiraling out of control. Man problems, money problems, teenager problems involving police, house problems. She has needed more and more help from me and has been less and less able to help me when I need it. But hey, tough times, and I'm glad to be in a position to help when I can. Betty wound up homeless, and trying to be a good friend, I helped her as much as I could. I helped her clean, pack, and move her things into storage using my van. Having no other option, she and her kids went to stay with her parents. Her car immediately broke down in their driveway. Trying to be a good friend, I offered to give her rides. I can't give you a place to stay, but I can get you to where you need to be. Just let me know ahead of time. Now, I'm a widowed mother of 3 teenagers, one of whom is severely disabled. I've got my own crap life story. 2 of my boys go to 2 different schools with 2 different schedules. The disabled one stays at home and sometimes has caregivers. He requires 24/7 supervision. And I'm the only one driving. We have multiple doctor and therapy appointments weekly. So although I'm a stay-at-home mom, I'm busy. Betty is aware of all this boring minutia of my life. One evening, she calls. I've been driving her around regularly and she left some things in my van and needs them. If her friend brings her up, can she get them and borrow $40? The person bringing her needs gas money and she needs cigarettes. I don't have $40 tonight, but I get paid tomorrow. I don't have enough gas to get to you and back, but I can bring you everything in the morning. She asks again if there's any way I can help. My gas light is on and I have 3 cents in the bank. I get paid in the morning. I'm sorry, hon, I just don't have it tonight, but I can come tomorrow. Alright, thank you anyway. Yes, please come in the morning to drop off my stuff. I can pay you back next Friday. A couple of things about me. I have face blindness. The part of my brain that is supposed to recognize faces doesn't work due to a neurological disorder. I rely on things like voice and hair and the way they move and what they're wearing to recognize people. For me, it also means I have problems with directions. I get lost very easily and rely on my phone to tell me where to go. Betty is aware of this and has always been extremely understanding of it and patient, helpful, and accommodating to me. Also, I have been the primary caregiver to my severely disabled son since he was born. I quit working to take care of him. Friends drifted away, busy living their own lives and not understanding the level of care my child required. When he was 8, his father, my husband, became disabled and then I was taking care of both of them. For 10 years, I was a full-time caregiver to 2 disabled people while raising 2 other children and dealing with my own significant health problems and running our household alone. I became my brain-damaged husband's caregiver rather than his partner. Isolated is a good description. Severely depressed is another good description. I don't have many friends. The dearest friend I did have was one of the bodies I found. My husband was the other. I called Betty in the morning with a full tank of gas and cash in hand. I had an hour between appointments, which was easily enough time to get there and back, except Betty didn't know the address of where she was. Everyone else there was asleep and she didn't want to wake them up. I had only been there once and I had made some wrong turns on the way, so there was no way I could get there myself. My brain just doesn't work that way. She gave me the nearest intersection to put in my phone and said, "When you get there, call me and I'll guide you in." Cool. I get there. I call. Betty doesn't know the name of the street I should turn onto next, but it's the second light, or maybe the third. It's after McDonald's, or was it KFC? My stress levels shot through the roof. I'm lost. I'm driving around aimlessly trying to recognize anything at all. I only have about 20 minutes before I have to leave for my next appointment, and it's a really important one. Is that the playground from the apartment complex she's in? How do I get there from here? She's trying to help, but she's also getting her 3-year-old dressed, and I hear her tell him to get his shoes and coat. Wait, you're not coming with me, are you? You just asked me to drop off your stuff. I have an appointment I can't be late for.
Yeah? You said I could have a ride whenever I need one.
Well, yeah, but we have to set it up ahead of time.
Fine. You know what? Never mind. I'm not feeling it.
Betty, I'm happy to give you a ride. I just don't have the time right now. You didn't say you needed a ride. You just asked me to drop off your stuff and loan you money. I mean, if it has to be now, you can come with me to my appointment, but you'd have to get in the car quickly, and it doesn't sound like you're ready to go. But I can come back later this afternoon. She blew up. I was being mean. I was mocking her. I had waited, just like everyone else in her life, to kick her when she was down. I was a bench. It was her fault I was too stupid to find my way to a place I've been to before. Never had she ever spoken to me this way before. Shocked, I didn't know how to respond, but also, I saw the turn into the playground and took it, and then saw the parking area I had parked in before. Finally, whew, I knew where I was. I'm here. Come get your crap. I hung up on her, shaking. I tucked $60 into her bag and set her things out on the sidewalk. I texted her where the money was to make sure she'd find it, and I got back in my car and shut the door. She came out in her pajamas and started screaming at me. What was my problem? I was a bench. If I didn't want to give her a ride, why did I say I would? There was no call for me to speak to her that way. I called her things. Crap, how dare I? Her things are important. There was no reason for me to treat her this way. Betty, I'm literally here to help you, doing exactly what you asked me to do. I'm not treating you any kind of way. At this point, I'm shaking so badly. I don't really want to drive and feel like I'm gonna vomit. She's screaming on the grass, waving her arms around, throwing her body from side to side, or attracting a crowd. I'm glad I'm inside the car because if I was outside with her, I would feel physically threatened. She's much larger than I am, though I can run and she cannot.
Own your crap! You did this! No wonder you don't have any friends! Own your crap! Own your crap!
She starts screaming it over and over. I drive away, shaking, crying, confused, angry, and deeply hurt. She's posting regularly to Facebook, so she's got power and Wi-Fi. Beyond that, I don't know. I hope she gets her crap together and makes a decent life for herself, but that's not up to me. I'm sorry it happened. I'm sorry things ended this way, but if I'm being really honest, there's relief in not feeling obligated to help her anymore. I'm focusing on my own crap, going to therapy, trying to get better, and trusting that when I'm ready, I'll find healthy new friends I will meet from my healthy new place. This all happened before Thanksgiving. Short story, she's waiting for me to apologize, and I'm not going to, so I'm leaving it there. If she reached out, I'd be willing to talk to her. I understand this was a result of severe stress and mental illness, but I won't be taken advantage of. Since my husband died, I've been able to put all that caregiving energy into my own self and put my own needs first. I've got a great therapist, I'm going to physical therapy, and I've made a lot of progress with my mental and physical health. I intend to keep going. I'm going to start volunteering at the Metro Parks here this summer. I walk my dogs there almost daily, and I'm hopeful I'll be ready to make new friends by then. Thank you all so much. Goodness gracious, that is one dedicated mother, wife, just person. I don't have much to say. I was gonna say that it sounds like the friend was just going through a lot of crap and just blew up on her without having any real reason to. You know, sometimes people just need someone to vent their frustrations on or to. In this case, it was definitely on. However, she already said that, and it's good that she's taking steps to really try to make herself happier, but wow, that's a lot to have to deal with every day, whole life. Goodness. This story's called, How Dare You Not Give Me Your Top Shelf Liquor for Free? This took place about 7 to 10 years ago, and I will do my best to get this exactly verbatim. We lived on a base, and we lived in a neighborhood where a lot of families would get together outside and play when the weather was nice. The kids would run around, the grown-ups would play volleyball that was set up between a couple of the houses. We would also have massive barbecues where everyone would pitch in. We learned what everyone's specialties were, and that is pretty much what that person brought. Some people showed no affinity for having a specialty, which meant those people usually just showed up. They became the choosing beggars. We had one neighbor who could make the best marinated steaks. Let's call him Joe. I mean, wow. I often made ribs, but I was really known for my bartending skills. I would make mudslides, margaritas, and other stuff, but everyone wanted margaritas and mudslides. Now, I have a little bit of a passion for making mixed drinks. It's fun. I also really don't like cheap liquor, and this fact became an issue. Now, it all depended on what we were doing this for and who would pitch in what. I can say my husband and I had an agreement with Joe and his family. They agreed to purchase our steaks if we covered ribs for them when we made them, but more so, I made them drinks during the get-togethers with the good stuff between $100 and $200 per bottle of Patron. I had no problem with that because we were all more than happy with the trade. I loved their steaks and they loved my drinks. Enter Choosing Beggar. I was making drinks, and even though Choosing Beggar did not bring anything to the barbecue, they were still part of the neighborhood, and I was more than willing to make them a drink. I offered them to come to my kitchen where I had my bar set up for the party. My good liquor was in the cupboard above my head, out of sight. Choosing Beggar, what would you like to drink?
One of your margaritas?
Okay, what kind? The original flavor? Green one. Mango, strawberry, or strawberry mango?
Strawberry mango?
Okay, blended, right? I asked, but almost everyone wanted them blended.
Yes.
Do you want sugar on the rim?
Yes.
I went about making the drink, and Choosing Beggar is watching me and giving me a weird look. What?
Why are you using Jose Cuervo?
Because that is what I use during large parties.
I know you give Joe and his wife drinks with your Patron, and I think you should make me a drink at least as good as the one you made them.
Believe me, your drink will still taste very good.
Then why did you put Patron in theirs, and what kind do you put in your drinks?
Well, I put Patron in mine because I like it, and I put it in theirs because they bought us our steaks.
So, you aren't being nice, you're making them pay for it.
I guess you could say we trade.
So, if I go home and grab some chip dip, then you will have to remake my drink with the good stuff.
No, I'm sorry, that is not happening.
But why?
Just take your drink and let's go back outside. And I show her back outside. Not 5 minutes later, I see her give the drink to her underage son, Entitled Kid. Entitled Kid was 17, was always trying to get everyone to give him drinks. His parents did, but everyone made it clear that we are not okay with it and that under no circumstance should they ever share anything they get from any of us. If they want to give something to their underage child, it is on them and them alone. At this time, Choosing Beggar was telling her husband to watch me because she is going to sneak in my house and make a drink with
the good stuff.
I happen to be standing next to Joe when we hear this and we look at each other. I, of course, am like, hell no! I run across the street as Choosing Beggar is just looking around but clearly heading to my house. As she makes it about 5 feet from my door, I loudly say, Choosing Beggar, what are you doing? Choosing Beggar stops and turns to face me, Joe, my husband, Joe's wife, and a couple of others who overheard what was happening by this point. Choosing Beggar had a look like she had her hand caught in a cookie jar.
You seemed busy. I spilled my drink, so I was gonna make myself another one. I didn't think you would mind.
Yeah, that is not what you said. Choosing Beggar, Joe and I saw you give your drink to Entitled Kid, who, by the way, we all know is underage. Then we heard you say you were going into my house to take
the good stuff. Well, you made me a drink with the cheap crap.
You are lucky we don't call the police. In my head, I was thinking, we have someone underage drinking, the alcohol came from my house, and I don't want anyone but Choosing Beggar to be in trouble.
You are being cheap. We are hanging out and you are picking and choosing who to make good drinks for, like you are up on a pedestal determining who deserves something good.
Choosing Beggar, if you want to chip in and supply a bottle, I will be happy to make you a drink with it.
You are the one who buys the bottle to share, not me.
Exactly, and now don't ask me to ever make you a drink ever again. Others chime in that unless Choosing Beggar starts bringing something equal to the barbecues, then she and her family can stop attending.
This is a public street. I can come if I want to.
Yes, but it does not mean we have to share with you, Choosing Beggar. Also, if I ever see Entitled Kid drinking alcohol again in my yard, I will call the police. And if I ever see you in my yard, I will call the police. It is our choice who we share with and how we share. It is not your right to just go and take anything. If you try again, I will press charges for stealing. Okay, first of all, I want to say that sounds like an amazing time. Like everyone in the neighborhood throwing a big old barbecue and having drinks and, you know, making good ass steaks and ribs and holy crap, that sounds amazing. You gotta love tight-knit communities that aren't, you know, full of jerks and stuff. But holy crap, that's just wrong. There's always gonna be someone like your Choosing Beggar in this story. However, I don't know what state they're in, but I'm pretty sure in most places you can drink alcohol if your parents are giving it to you or something like that. I'm not exactly sure the exact laws, but I do know that's a thing here in Texas and a lot of other states. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.